Hello fellow Trekkies! Before I jump into my review, I just wanted to say happy first contact day 2063. On this day, in the future, Zefram Cochrane will complete his first warp flight at the first time. And obviously that will grab the attention of the Vulcans. They will come down to the planet and they will realize, okay, the humans are actually more evolved than they originally thought. So as everyone knows, and you know, Star Wars has its own day, May the 4th, must all be with you. And we have the Star Trek Day in September as well, when we celebrate Star Trek. First Contact Day is a special day as well, because this gives us hope for a brighter future, for the beginning of a brighter future. So happy First Contact Day, everyone! Hello and welcome back with another episode review of the animated series. Today we're going to talk about the episode called Albatross. In this episode, Kirk, Spock and Dr. McCoy is on the surface to actually trade medical supplies to planet Dramia. Everything going so fine, the trade conference went smoothly, but before they beam back to the Enterprise, one of the Dramians comes along and they hand over to Kirk an official warrant for one of the crew members of the landing party. So that warrant reveals Dr. McCoy caused a mass slaughtering in Dramia II, releasing a plague and killing everyone in the surface. Obviously, because Dramia is part of the Federation, they have to behold into the rules and everything. So Dr. McCoy being taken away, and obviously Kirk and Spock can't just stand there and just see the accusation and see the whole trial, because the whole trial will end up having Dr. McCoy punished and probably killed, and that's how Dramian justice works. So Kirk and Spock decide to go to Dramia II to investigate this whole situation, because they can't actually believe, and especially Jim, he can't believe Dr. McCoy was capable to actually do a mass slaughtering for an entire civilization, for an entire population of a planet. So the Enterprise is on its way to Dramia II, and obviously Dramians are realizing this fact, and they send a commander to actually, you know, just to investigate what they're doing, because they're not supposed to go there. But this was a tiny bit tricky, because you know, they weren't abandoned from the planet, but they actually went there, and they didn't really want them to go there. Maybe the Dramians were afraid the Enterprise will find something in Dramia II. So that commander was following the Enterprise, and Kirk basically came up with this idea: they will open the shuttle bay door, pretending they just left it there, and they will sneak into the ship, and they will so basically they trap this commander on board the Enterprise. And obviously, because of the situation, he will accompany Kirk and Spock over this investigation. When they beam down to the planet, they realize, okay, the whole city was wiped out because of the plague, and there wasn't any survivors, and they try to look around, but then they realize there's still Dramians are alive in this planet. So they follow this local, let's say this local in Dramia, because they thought, okay, this is a survivor. Apparently it wasn't a survivor. That person was a traveler who wasn't there at the time of the plague, so he was sort of coming home and he didn't find anyone. Obviously they're following this survivor, and they go into the cave where this Dramian actually escaped, and Kirk got attacked because the Dramians in Dramia II, they don't like humans at all, because they caused the plague in the planet. Suddenly a survivor, a Dramian called Coltai, appears, and he was the only survivor actually in the planet, and he remembers Dr. McCoy saving his life while in the planet. So he was actually the voucher for the freedom for Dr. McCoy. Obviously they beam up to the Enterprise, Coltai, the commander, and obviously Kirk and Spock. But then I was started to thinking, what happened with the other one? They just left him behind. It's not really a nice thing to do. I mean, they just found a survivor slash local in there, and they didn't even bring him along. Don't really understand why Coltai was so. I mean, obviously Coltai was important because he knew Dr. McCoy and he was actually the watch for Dr. McCoy. But what happened with the other one? I just don't get it. Why did they leave him in the planet? So they could have actually, you know, beamed him aboard and do the same thing, but they did it cold tie. But anyhow, so the Enterprise is back to Dramia I. And suddenly they're going through this aurora. This is a sort of cloud, changing its colors from green, yellow, and blue, and red, and all sorts of colors. So they're going through this aurora, and suddenly all the crew of the Enterprise got affected by the plague. So they turned into blue at the beginning. Everyone in the aboard the Enterprise got the plague, and this is the reaction for the plague. If you got the plague, this Dramian plague, you turn blue at the beginning, and then yellow, and then red, and then you die. So it's a fatal plague, and it's only the Vulcans are immune for this plague. So actually, while everyone got infected because of this plague, Spock took command of the Enterprise, and he was actually going back with the Enterprise and try to find out if they can actually retrieve Dr. McCoy. So Spock called the Dramian Council, the prime leader, the Dramian people, and he tried to negotiate to at least get back McCoy till he will solve the situation and in the Enterprise, and then he will go down, and you know, he will still attend the trial, and he will still face the consequences of his committed crimes. Oh, well, Dr. McCoy as a mass slaughter, I can't see that. I can't see that. It's just not right. So obviously the prime leader ignores Spock, and he said, okay, no one goes anywhere, and Dr. McCoy will stay where he is. But obviously Spock, after when he got the permission from Kirk, he beams down and he Vulcan nerve pinch the security guard, and he escaped Dr. McCoy from the cell. Why a Vulcan nerve pinch can work on every alien species? I just kept thinking the Vulcan nerve pinch is really good for everything. That might worth another video to make one day. So obviously they go back to the Enterprise, and Dr. McCoy start working with Spock, and they actually found the antidote after a while, when Kirk actually figures out, okay, this is the Aurora, because the Aurora was changing its color as well, and everyone who got this plague, they changing their color as well. So it was a connection between the Aurora and the actual plague. So the plague was there. It was a Saurian virus than was Dr. McCoy was treating 19 years ago. Now that's the other thing. 19 years ago, something happened in the planet 19 years ago, and the justice wasn't really quick enough. So I mean, how come a 19 years old crime in the Federation? Obviously Dr. McCoy had a record serving on board the Enterprise and in other starships as a medical officer, and since 19 years that happened, and they just got into it now. So that what's happening with justice in Dramia II? So they found this connection between the Aurora and the actual plague, so and obviously the connection between the Saurian virus. And Dr. McCoy finds the antidote because of the blood sample of the cold tie. So he actually makes up finally the antidote and saves everyone on board the Enterprise, and obviously he hands over the antidote for the Dramians as well for future medical improvements. Obviously, after that, the Dramians drop every charges. Even they drop the charges of Spock breaking in unorthodoxly and saving Dr. McCoy, and Dr. McCoy was celebrated as a great medical hero. So yeah, that was sort of the episode. So the episode started out in a really sad theme, and it was a really deep. Well, I felt really sorry for Dr. McCoy, because first thing first, it was 19 years ago. If something happens 19 years ago in the 23rd century, come on, it's justice must have worked quicker. And actually it turns out Dr. McCoy wasn't responsible for this plague, so he didn't cause the plague, because actually it was the Aurora that made this reaction out from the antidote for the Saurian virus. So it was a complicated story, but the main point was Dr. McCoy wasn't guilty. He didn't do anything wrong. Despite of this, and obviously the Vulcan nerve pinch, and actually just maybe it's just me, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the Vulcan nerve pinch actually. But I might do a separate video on that topic. There was one mistake that I realized. It was in the episode. When the end of the episode they beamed up and and everyone was in a transporter room. So there was a shot when Kirk, Spock and Dr. McCoy was talking to each other, and actually realized, okay, Dr. McCoy was wearing gold instead of blue. I'm pretty sure it was just a mistake. Obviously it was Dr. McCoy, but in gold, and it happened over the course of the series. That must be some coloring issue or some techniques, or maybe they reused some scenes. In my big recap, I will talk about this one too. As a rating for this episode, I would say yeah, a really weak 5 out of 5. A really weak 5 out of 5 because of this 19 years difference. I still can't get along with why did they have to wait for 19 years for this crime, but I talked about this quite a lot, so I'm just stop it. 5 out of 5. It's a great episode, must watch, and it's not really a fun episode, but it's really good to go into the investigation part. And even when Kirk gets emotional about Dr. McCoy and about his case, he's just so human. He really take care of his friend, and he really stand next to his friend, and he stand next on his case, and he try to prove him right, while everyone, and well, mainly the Dalmatian, says okay, he's guilty of committing crimes, but he didn't do anything. So it's a really good strong friendship and a really good strong connection between these two characters, and I just really enjoyed watching it, and it was a really good episode. So 5 out of 5. It was a nice episode. But I think that was it for today, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and please don't forget to subscribe as well for receiving all the geekiness twice a week. Let me know your thoughts about this episode in the comment section below, and see you in the next video. Live long and prosper.